All right, it's time for Real Talk brought to you by Capital One. Real Talk, Doc Rivers needs to go sit down somewhere. And you know I love Doc. We all love Doc. But
Okay.
it's like I can understand Joel Embiid's disappointment. I can understand Doc Rivers' disappointment. I can understand him advocating for his players. That's what he does. That's part of his job description. He sees Joel Embiid every single day. Joel Embiid makes his job easier. I understand where Doc's coming from. Until you get to, listen, his resume was great. I'm not taking anything away from Jokic either because he's a hell of a player. I do think this whole analytics-driven society world is out of control at times with some of the measures that they use. Like, watch the dang game and decide is what I've always said. But at the end of the day, if Joel had won, which I thought he should have, there would have been criticism that way if Giannis had won. Only one guy could win, unfortunately. It's like, look, man, I don't know if he could have done more than he did this year. Play without the second best player all year. Embiid said, I don't know what else I could have done. They all just kind of missing the point, and I wish they would engage in more real talk when it comes to MVP. And real talk is not talking out of both sides of your mouth. He deserved it, but.
Exactly.
He deserved it, but. I'm not mad, but. Or here's my favorite part. I don't have a problem with Nikola Jokic winning it, but here's my problem. It's like, guys, unfortunately, much like a championship, there's only one NBA most valuable player. And everybody else is going to have to live with that disappointment. You could be an MVP candidate, and there's something to be said for being in the MVP conversation. There's something to be said for being a runner-up. But if we want to go into the multiverse of MVPs, how many people should have or think they should have more MVPs or MVPs at all if they weren't born at the same time as Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or LeBron James or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Shaquille O'Neal? The list goes on and on. It's like, unfortunately, there can only be one. It doesn't mean that Joel Embiid doesn't have a rightful case or rightful argument. It feels like Game of Thrones. Everybody want to stake their claim to the Iron Throne. It's like, well, you know what? He's got an argument. But guess what? At the end of the day, there's one guy, and that one guy deserved it, full stop. Stop taking away from the MVP by giving all the reasons, such as this analytics-driven society, and you nerds, and you biased, axe-grinding sports writers who don't know jack shit about basketball. Stop that, man. You're disrespecting not me. You're disrespecting Nikola Jokic.
Mike, as if you lean on analytics, if you value analytics, then that means you're not watching the game. Hey, watch the dang game and let me know what you think. Yeah, I am watching the game. I'm watching the game, and I'm also putting the game into context and looking at it from multiple angles. It's not either or. It's not like, hey, I'm just a eye test guy, and I'm going to just reject all numbers that I see because I don't understand them. If I don't understand them, I'll look into them further to see if I agree with them. Some I agree with, some I won't. But I'm just not going to reject them out of hand. That's one. Here's the other thing. I think what this comes down to is the second one. It's not that Embiid didn't win the MVP as much as it is Jokic winning back-to-back. See, back-to-back really bothers people. I think maybe they don't verbalize it that way. They don't articulate it quite that way.
What people?
But back-to-back MVP, people who say either guys who didn't win it, like Joel Embiid, or those who question, hey, why is Jokic so special? It'd be one thing, there's a little participation trophy vibe to this. It'd be one thing if Jokic won it last year, Embiid wins it this year, somebody wins it the year after. But when you are a multiple back-to-back, or in the case of Larry Bird and Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, back-to-back-to-back, if you're one of those
rarefied air. Let's verify there.
Yeah, now we start looking around. Well, wait a minute.
Okay, but
Okay,
here's
I get it.
but
I get it.
but do me this favor. Let me
He
go
had to
back to
run
the
it back?
hypocrisy then. Then don't complain about voter fatigue. Don't complain about voter fatigue. If you're gonna get mad when somebody takes their MVP season to another level and sets the all-time record, I'm sorry for you math-averse people. I'm about to bring up player efficiency rating. Sorry, I know we don't like math. I know you were told there would be no math. You just want to stick to good old scoring titles. Basic round numbers like points per game is all we deal with, right? Not 27, 14, and 8. That's too advanced for y'all. Not the first 2,000, 1,500 season in history. Yeah, that gives y'all a headache. But nonetheless, you want to so a guy takes his season to another level is even better. In a vacuum, forget this idea of he was the incumbent last year and it carried over into this year. Because I could also argue that the fact that Embiid didn't win it last year gave him momentum going into this year when he took his game to a higher level without Ben Simmons. But alas, forget about all of that. You want to talk about, oh, he shouldn't have gone back-to-back or back-to-back rubs people the wrong way, which I hear you, Michael. It's like, well, don't tell us about voter fatigue when somebody should be the back-to-back MVP and they don't get it because, oh, we sick of voting for LeBron or we sick of voting for Giannis. Which one is it? Are you tired of back-to-backs, people, or are we susceptible to voter fatigue? It always just comes back to us because again, we're an easy target. We're low-hanging fruit.
But I don't
Jokic
think
this season deserved it, full stop. It does not mean that there was not an argument for Giannis or Embiid or somebody else. It's that there can only be one. Tough. Give the breaks.
Then, well, I don't understand. I don't understand when Embiid says, "I don't know what else I have to do." Well, just keep playing. Keep playing. It's not like nobody's saying you had a bad season, and I don't think anybody's saying he's a bad guy. Like nobody's saying, "Oh, I don't like Embiid." He's very pleasant to. Yeah, he's great. He's pleasant. He's pleasant to listen to. He's always got something witty to say. He's fun to follow.
He's affable.
And he's great. You like watching him play too. And he's also in one of those media markets. I mean, Philadelphia is a basketball city, not just college basketball, but pro basketball as well. It is a basketball city. So it's not like he's in an area where people aren't really aware of what he's doing. The bigger upset is that somebody in Denver won over somebody in Philadelphia. Because I would think there would be more of a push. Media-wise, you talk about the whole media narrative. See, if you're going to go by media narrative, Embiid actually should have won it.
The
if
bigger
people
market?
had an agenda. Yeah.
Sure.
But that wasn't it. I think people really looked at.
They actually got it right. They got it right, and God forbid we actually get it right for the right reasons. It's like absent agreement, you got to find a conspiracy. Because you're right. I mean, like they actually went with a guy in Denver that people aren't seeing as much as they are. Last time I checked, ain't no Dr. Pepper commercial or whatever it is with Dr. J's voice in Nikola Jokic's head. But I want to go back to the participation trophy point. You know how, and I maintain, there are so many people throughout NBA history who think they should have an MVP or more MVPs if they did not have the misfortune of being born and playing at the same time as some of the people we've mentioned, okay? Embiid happens to be in the league at the same time as Nikola Jokic. Best passing, playmaking big man of all time already. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is the previous, we've gone back-to-back now. He went back-to-back before and was a finalist again. How many people would have more Oscars for best leading performance by a woman in a motion picture if not for Meryl Streep? You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about it.
But it says something, but you get to say Oscar nominated, right? You get to say Oscar nominated or Emmy nominated, correct? I think we should just do a better job when it comes to the NBA of recognizing MVP finalists. Because it's and I know that's participation trophy-ish. I know. But since if it's an absolute type nature to it, it's all or nothing. There's only one person. I mean, again, in the multiverse of MVPs, Joel Embiid's got 2 now. He doesn't. He has nothing in terms of hardware to show for the last two seasons. And that is a shame. I would love it if, much like golf, we track top 10 finishes. We track top 5 finishes in majors, right? We should track MVP finalist seasons or top 5 MVP seasons more closely than we do. Inside basketball circles, NBA writers, talking heads, we'll talk about the top 5, but after that, it goes away. Nobody remembers if Jason Tatum is on top 5 on the ballot or not. We should, because these seasons shouldn't just disappear into the ether. You know, we should remember, and there should be something to show for the types of seasons that these players have, besides the all or nothing nature of being most valuable player, which is very subjective.
You bring up some really good points here. You know, to the point of, hey, just so the Meryl Streep point really reminds me of something we did a couple weekends ago. Maybe it was last weekend or 2 weekends ago. You know, Oni and I, going back and forth, we're talking about, to the kids, we're talking about the first time Michael Jackson moonwalked on TV, 1983.
Motown 85? I thought it was Motown. Yeah. Was Motown 85?
I think it was American Music Awards. I think it was 1983.
Okay.
But fact check me on that.
All right.
Because
you were 10 years older than me at the time. I was a baby. You were 10 years older,
that's right.
So you would know.
9 years older.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, I remember where I was when I watched it, sitting right in front of the TV, looking up like this. And I remember the whole show. I actually gave him a play-by-play, and fortunately, the video confirmed it. I told him everything that happened. I said, hey, he came out first with his brothers. They performed. Then he kind of gave them all hugs and said, hey, I enjoy the old songs, but I like the new ones too. And everybody went crazy. And then they saw it. But they weren't into it. Yeah. Like, Oni and I, we're going crazy. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And the kids are like, okay, what's the big deal? I'm like, okay, you don't understand.
Right.
But it's Michael Jackson. But when Michael Jackson, and we went down this whole rabbit hole of looking up Michael Jackson videos, and we saw one where it was time to announce, hey, male performer of the year. Here are your candidates. Teddy Pendergrass.
Right.
Rick James.
Right.
Rick James. And Michael Jackson. I said, well, sorry. Hey, Teddy, you the man. Rick James, you had to, come on.
Hey,
you ain't gonna be
I'll give you one.
It's Michael Jackson.
Hey, Mike. your favorite statistic in popular culture, as far as I know, Stevie Wonder, 3 straight album of the years, right? Albums of the year, correct?
Come on.
Okay,
right. And
somebody else made good music at the time. I'm sure somebody else had really good albums.
They were great.
Really good albums.
They were great. But
Let's go Kanye. I'm sorry, but Beyonce had the greatest video of all time. But Taylor Swift, okay, it was probably a good video. It's like, Joel Embiid, you had a great season. I want us to remember, and I do feel sorry for him. I just get pissed off when people try to delegitimize the process. Now, some people, and I will remain nameless because I choose not to, just give them any more oxygen than they already sucking up as it is, and Embiid referenced it. There are some people in this here business of ours, whether it's because they are full of themselves or vaccination status, we know that there are times when personal principles or values or animus or whatever will factor into voting, and that is unfortunate. There is no place for that. That I agree with. We didn't play that sound from Embiid, but that was real talk. Embiid was absolutely right. You should not have people who take their personal axes to grind into their voting processes, or use their platform to diminish people like that are actually in charge of something as important as sacred as this. That's why that Illuminati conversation we had the other day with Marcus Thompson, there is something to be said for that. Having said all that, I think by and large, the writers take it very, very seriously and hold sacred the honor
of
voting
most people
for these NBA awards and stress about it and lose sleep about it. I think the vast majority of us do. So that's the only thing I got a problem with, is as if we're only looking at box scores and numbers and not watching League Pass and not watching the games and not consulting with NBA experts to determine who to vote for MVP. I think a lot of people take it more seriously than these players and these fans think.
Current players, former players, general managers, coaches. There are a lot of people, scouts. There are a lot of people that you're bouncing things off of. The other thing I'll say is this. Okay, now here's my bias. I'm going to tell you, flat out. I got a bias here, and I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to understand it without being judgmental. I'm not judgmental on it. I'm fascinated by it more than anything. Mike, what I have in my heart, what I have in my memory, boom, 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 is champions. So if you have won a championship, I've got it. Okay, I got you. I know. I see you, 1980 Lakers. I see you, 1975 Warriors. I see you, 1978 Bullets. I see you. I got you, 77 Blazers.
You don't remember MVPs that way.
I know. I mean, I know that Jordan has what, 5? He had 5.
That's the point.
Kareem has 6.
You don't even have to remember the MVPs because typically the great ones all have it. The greatest players in NBA history typically have them. If not more.
But if they don't win it, okay. So Jordan, I don't believe Jordan won it in '98. Not the MVP. He won Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think Carl did. I think Malone did. If I'm not mistaken.
Carl Malone. Okay,
right.
But that doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't move me that. I'm just surprised that people are so wounded over this
that's
thing.
Because Jordan already got a handful of them things, and another MVP, same with LeBron. So another one isn't going to affect his legacy that much.
If you get one,
you got 0,
you can just breathe. You can just breathe easy.
If you don't have one, you're like, yo, if I want to be in that, if I want to get in that club, if I want to get behind that velvet rope, if I want to be in that VIP section, I need one of them things.
Give me the ring.
Hey, man.
Hey, win a championship and get him 2 for 1. Win a championship and Finals MVP. You're good.
This has been
you win a
Real
championship
Talk,
and Finals MVP.
Brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? A whole lot more money goes in your wallet when you can say NBA MVP Joel Embiid. And by the way, I want to assure you, Michael, and everybody else, if the shoe were on the other foot and if it was reversed and Embiid had won MVP, I'd be going just as hard in the paint at people who try to delegitimize that voting. Even though it...
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.